Investiture of the Gods, Chapter 9.
It starts with two chases happening at once. First, Prince Yin Hong. General Lai Kai and his men are after him.
Wait.
Relentlessly. The text is so vivid, like lightning through clouds, wind and rain driving them. You feel their exhaustion after days of just punishing travel.
And Lai Kai's decision there to actually stop and rest. It seems practical, right? Chasing in the dark is pointless. But that choice leads straight to this, well, fated meeting.
Right. They find the Suanyuan Temple, the Yellow Emperor's Temple, and inside,
Prince Yin Hong, fast asleep. And for Lai Kai, this isn't just dumb luck. He immediately sees it as Tiansu, heaven's will.
like fate handed him the prince.
Exactly. It's this moment of quiet destiny, like his grim duty is somehow sanctioned from above.
And how he handles it is interesting, too. He wakes Yin Hong, tells him he's there on the emperor's command, invites him back to court, tries to reassure him, even.
He mentions officials appealing for him.
But Yin Hong seems resigned. He just asks for Lai Kai's horse because he's exhausted.
And Lai Kai agrees. He says he'll walk.
That feels like more than just politeness, doesn't it? What's going on there? Duty versus deference.
That's a great question. It's layered. On one hand, Lai Kai feels he's acting under Tiansu, heaven's will. That kind of justifies his actions, but maybe also holds him to a certain standard.
Oh.
He's not just a thug. He's part of this system, right? A system that, in theory, respects the imperial line. To just brutalize the prince would undermine the very thing he serves, even if King Zu's corrupting it.
So he's caught.
Yeah, he's walking this moral tightrope. Serve the king, yes, but also uphold the idea of the dynasty. His humility isn't just empathy. It's about preserving the institution, maybe. It's pragmatism mixed with piety.
Wow. Maintaining the facade while everything's crumbling. And the other chase, for Prince Yin Zhao, that has its own complications, right? General Yimpoba tracks him down.
Yes, and this leads him to Fengyan Town. And crucially, to the Grand Tutor's mansion, the home of Prime Minister Xiangrong.
And there's a connection there.
A huge one. Yinpoba is Xiangrong's menching his student, his disciple.
Okay. That explains why he just walks in.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It breaks protocol for a general, but he's entering his teacher's house. There's this implied familiarity, this expectation, even on official business.
Yeah.
That student-teacher bond, it's huge in Confucian thinking. It immediately sets up a conflict for Yinpoba.
And inside, he finds Prince Yin Zhao dining with Xiangrong. What happens when Yimpoba says why he's there?
Xiangrong just explodes. Righteous fury. He doesn't hold back.
Not just at the king.
No, at the entire court. He blasts the 400 civil and military officials, calls them silent, unable to speak truth to power, greedy for titles, and the worst, holding positions without contributing. Basically dead weight while the kingdom falls apart. It's a total takedown of their cowardice.
And Xiangrong is seen as the moral compass, right?
Absolutely, a Confucian ideal. His anger isn't just emotion, it's a deep protest against this systemic failure of duty. Officials should remonstrate, even if it's dangerous. He sees that completely abandoned.
Yin Zhao must be terrified.
Utterly. Face like gold paper, the text says pale white. But Xiangrong, he's firm, says he'll confront the emperor himself. And he warns Yinpoba, his own student, don't chase glory if it means sacrificing the great principle of loyalty.
Meaning loyalty isn't just to the king.
Exactly. It's to the dynasty, to morality itself. That should trump personal ambition. It's that classic tension. Loyalty, yang versus righteousness, playing out right there.
So the generals have their princes. They meet up at this three-way intersection.
And this scene, it's just the emotional heart of it all.
Yin Zhao sees Yin Hong.
And the description is brutal. Heart twisted like a knife, mind tormented like boiling oil. Pure agony. They just grab each other and weep.
Lamenting their fate.
Yes, crying out, our mother died innocent, her sons die without guilt. It's so raw. They know it's over, no chance for vengeance.
And the soldiers watching.
Even they are moved. 3,000 soldiers, the text says, heartbroken, covering their faces, weeping.
It's more than just personal tragedy, isn't it? It challenges the whole idea of justice in this world. For you, the listener, it just slams home that paradox. Born to privilege, yet the most vulnerable victims of absolute power. How does this show the human cost of Tiansu, of heaven's will?
Oh, absolutely. This is where that cost becomes just agonizingly clear. Okay, so heaven might have a plan, but look at the suffering right now. Their royal blood should protect them, right? But it's the very thing that dooms them.
The ultimate irony.
It really is. Their lament isn't just personal. It's about the injustice of a system consuming its own children. It shows how fragile everything becomes when moral leadership collapses. Destiny becomes this cruel joke. You have to ask, if heaven does have a plan, Why does it involve such innocent agony?
A powerful reminder that divine plans don't negate human pain. Okay, so the princes are captured. The scene shifts now, doesn't it? To the capital. Part 2. The court's conscience and King Zhu's cruelty.
Right, the generals report back.
And King Zhu's reaction, instant, chilling. He doesn't even want to see his sons, just orders them executed. Immediately. At the Meridian Gate.
Women Zhengfa.
And bury the bodies. When Yunpoba asks for the written order, needing that official paper trail.
King Zhu just takes his imperial brush and writes 2 characters, execute.
Just like that. It's not just power, it's a complete rejection of his own bloodline, his dynasty's future. Almost unthinkable.
And this flips the crisis from personal tragedy to a public moral emergency for the whole court. News gets to Huang Faihu Wu Chengwang. He's this highly respected military guy.
And he's furious.
Absolutely livid. Not just at the king, but at the generals, too. He sees them chasing ambition over the actual heirs of the dynasty, the Chengtang Housei.
For him, it's an attack on the kingdom's foundation.
Exactly. A betrayal of basic governance. So he acts.
What does he do?
He knows this needs more than just swords. He summons the heavyweights to the Meridian Gate. Prime Minister Bigan, royal relatives like Wei Zi and Ji Zi, respected scholars like Bo Yi and Shu Ti, top officials like Zhao Qi.
The court's conscience, essentially.
Pretty much. And Huang Feihu, being smart, defers to them. He says, basically, I'm a military man, not a talker. You guys figure out the plan. He knows they have the moral authority needed here.
And why do they gather? Just duty.
It's a profound sense of duty, yeah. They have to try and stop this atrocity against the state, against heaven itself. And then the princes are brought out, and they make this heartbreaking plea.
What do they say?
Pity the 31st generation descendants of Chengtang, now facing slaughter. They're appealing directly to the officials' duty to preserve the dynasty itself. It's a desperate cry for the kingdom's founding principles.
But the generals are coming, aren't they? With the decree.
Yes, they arrive, ready to carry out the order. Huang Feihu confronts them, warns them. High office means danger. Heavy position means peril. Basically, this Ketiron, it leads to ruin, a prophecy almost.
And then the big moment.
Oh yeah. Grandmaster Zhao Qi steps forward.
What does he do?
He just snatches the execution decree right out of Yin Popa's hands.
No.
And tears it into tiny pieces.
Wow. Just like that, in front of everyone.
In front of everyone, it must have been stunning. It's pure, raw, civil disobedience, a direct challenge to the king's power.
He's not just ripping paper.
No, he's symbolically ripping apart the king's illegitimate authority in that moment. And then he lets loose.
What does he say?
Calls King Zhu an unjust ruler. Calls the generals vile men aiding evil. And he demands action. Tells all the officials, go to the Grand Hall. Ring the bells, beat the drums, make the emperor hold court.
Force confrontation.
Exactly. Force him to face them, to hear their direct remonstrance, even if it offends him. It's an attempt to restore proper governance.
And Huang Feihu?
He sees the move. Instantly orders his own men to guard the princes. Secures them, for now.
So the officials, fired by Zhao Qi, head to the Grand Hall, bells ringing, drums beating, trying to summon the king.
But King Zhu is back in the palace, talking with Daji, his infamous consort.
And her advice isn't exactly helpful, I'm guessing.
Not for the princes, no. She tells him, ignore them. Issue another decree for immediate execution. Send the officials packing until tomorrow.
Just brush them off.
Completely. And this second decree, it lays out King Zhu's whole philosophy. Basically, when the ruler summons, you come instantly. When the ruler grants death, you dare not live. Absolute, unquestioning obedience. No room for argument. No room for morality. And then he lists these trumped-up charges against the princes. Helping each other, destroying moral norms, drawing a sword in the palace.
Even patricide. Attempted patricide.
Yeah, attempting patricide, which is, just about the worst crime imaginable in that society. It's pure fabrication to justify killing his own sons.
So the officials get this new decree.
And they're just helpless. Discussing, arguing, getting nowhere, endlessly discussing without resolution.
And the terrible irony
is that they don't even know Zhao Qi already destroyed the first decree. They think they're still fighting that original order, unaware they actually had a small victory, however temporary.
Wow. The fog of tyranny, you could call it. Blinding them.
It really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
About information, power. How does a leader justify this? And how do people respond when the truth is hidden? When their moral stand feels crushed by sheer will? It's the weight of power against collective outrage. These two princes, the text calls them, your highnesses, they're about to be executed publicly. at the noon gate. It's meant to be brutal, meant to scare everyone into line.
Yeah, and what's really key here from the investiture itself is these aren't just any princes. They are explicitly on the list, the Hosterai. They're destined for the investiture of the gods. They're meant to be famous generals, Sukade under Jiangxia in the next dynasty, the Zhou. So dying here, that's not in the script, so to speak. And the reason heaven's involved, it links back maybe 1,500 years. Immortals had committed a killing offense. It was a big deal. Serious enough that their master, Yuanshi Tenzun, basically put their training on hold. So these powerful immortals were kind of cosmically unemployed, looking for ways to earn merit, get back into the celestial swing of things by, well, helping out down on Earth.
Okay, so you've got fated princes, immortals looking for good deeds. What happens next is just wild. Two super powerful immortals, Qi Jingxi and Guan Chengxi, they're just casually flying over Chozh on their clouds, and suddenly, whoosh, their paths are blocked by these two streams of bright red energy coming straight up from the princes down below. That's gotta be a sign, right?
Oh, absolutely. A massive sign. They recognize this red energy immediately. It screams, special destiny, these guys aren't supposed to die yet. And Guang Chengxi, he's known for being compassionate. He says, basically, our Taoist hearts are kind, why wouldn't we save them? And they quickly figure out a plan. It's practical, too. Each saves one prince, takes him back to their mountain. It's not just being nice, though. They realize this would help Jiangxia succeed later on, advancing through the 5 passes. So it's, quote, kills 2 birds with 1 stone, helps the princes, helps the destined future, and earns them major cosmic brownie points.
And the rescue itself. Wow, speed, spectacle, it's all there. Guan Chengxi calls his yellow-turbaned strongmen his Isai. Tells him, go get the princes. And then it's just chaos. The description, dust, flying rocks, the sky goes dark. The sound, like mountains, literally splitting open and falling down. You can just feel the terror of the soldiers. Even the supervisor, Yin Paobai, is just scrambling away, covering his head. Can you imagine being one of those guards? What story do you tell later?
Exactly. And the aftermath is just as revealing. The storm stops. Princes. Gone. Poof. Not a trace. Yin Paobai, the supervisor, he's scared absolutely witless. Understandable, really. But look at the reactions. The court officials, guys like Bigan, Huang Feihu, they're overjoyed. They see it as, Tijuzuin, heaven won't let innocent sons die. The Shang lineage isn't finished yet. They read it as a direct sign. Divine disapproval of King Zhu. King Zhu, though, he's left, just quiet, thinking, how strange, how bizarre. Maybe, just maybe, a flicker of doubt, like, what just happened to my absolute authority?
Right. If you saw that storm clear, what would you think? A miracle. Divine intervention showing a bigger plan. Or just some freak event that conveniently stopped the king's cruelty for a moment. Either way, it definitely put a dent in his power. Okay, now let's shift gears a bit. From that supernatural rescue to something purely human, but just as powerful and, well, ultimately tragic. While all that heaven-sent stuff was happening, a real respected figure, Prime Minister Shang Rong, he'd actually just retired, is heading back to Chozh.
Shang Rong is crucial here. Even retired, he feels this heavy burden, the kingdom's problems weighing on him. And get this, the text says he hears about the princes disappearing from ordinary people on the road, not through official word. That hits him hard. It spurs him to go back immediately. His loyalty isn't just to King Zhu, you see, it's to the whole Shang dynasty, the idea of it.
So he gets to the noon gate, sees the crowds, the soldiers, the leftover tension from the morning, and he walks right up to the officials there and basically calls them out. Zhou Bao, why didn't a single one of you try to stop the emperor? Why the silence? He's challenging their inaction.
And Huang Feihu tries to explain, look, the king's shut himself away. He won't hold court. The monarch's door is 10,000 miles away, impossible to get direct counsel. They did try, they say. They banged the drums, the bells. But the king just sent word, wait until after the execution to submit your complaints. It really shows how completely King Zhu had walled himself off. No dissent allowed.
And Shang Rong's reaction to Yin Paobai, the poor execution supervisor who lost the princes. Oh, it's pure acid. He congratulates him on his great merit and heavy responsibility for letting the princes vanish. Ouch. that just drips with contempt for anyone enabling the king, right? Anyone just going along with it out of fear or whatever.
Absolutely nails it. And then Xing Rong makes his own intentions crystal clear. Hey, basically,
Yeah.
I'm here to see the emperor. I might die, I might live, but today I will speak my mind directly. I'll sacrifice myself for the nation. K. And then he does something really symbolic. He walks into the palace wearing white mourning clothes. It's like saying, I'm ready to die, but also maybe this kingdom, it's already in mourning, it's dying. And then he orders the big ceremonial bells and drums struck over and over to force the king to appear, a final defiant summons.
That's just immense courage. But from King Zhu's view, it's pure insubordination, isn't it? Was there any other way Shangrong could have approached him? Or was the king just too far gone?
You know, looking at how Zhu is acting, his paranoia, his isolation, I think Shangrong knew subtle wasn't going to work. Showing up in mourning clothes, demanding an audience like that, it was a deliberate choice to force a confrontation. He probably realized normal channels were completely broken. It's tragic, really. Shows the total breakdown of trust.
So, King Zhu, he's already grumpy about the prince's vanishing. Now he hears these drums and bells banging nonstop. He's furious, but he eventually comes to the throne, clearly annoyed.
And the stage is set. Shanrong, in his white robes, kneels. King Zhu doesn't even wait. His first words are pure anger. Essentially, why don't you know your place? Why are you acting like this? Bothering me?
It just screams disrespect for this elder statesman, for any kind of protocol.
But Sangrong doesn't back down. He gives this incredibly brave speech. First, he sort of regrets not doing enough before, then, bam, right at the king. Accuses him of being dragat, decadent, obsessed with drink and women, zero morals left. Says he's listening to liars, kicking out loyal guys, killing his own sons, executing his empress, and just generally messing up the whole social order, flipping virtues upside down, wrecking human relationships. He holds absolutely nothing back. And the written memorial, the Thu he hands over, it's devastating, a complete takedown. It starts by reminding Zhu of how he used to be, benevolent, righteous, always busy for the kingdom, Ruche, caring for ministers, wisely handling foreign tribes. Back then, people thought he was amazing. Better than the legendary sage kings Yao and Shun. Saintly, divine even. That contrast just makes his fall seem even worse, you know. Then the memorial dives into the present. Trusting villains, addicted to partying, listening to Daji's plots that framed the empress, led him to war, order his own sons killed. And it mentions the horrific Da Lao torture, that greased, heated pillar, forcing people onto it, alive. Ugh. That detail alone shows how cruel he'd become, how he'd lost all right to rule. Shang Rong flat out says, Hojuran, the bond between ruler and minister, gone, dead. He accuses Zhu of wrecking the Bu, the three core relationships, ruler-subject, father-son, husband-wife, the very bedrock of society. That wasn't just bad ruling. It was seen as fundamentally wrong, almost a cosmic crime. He even compares him to Tira, Ji of Xia, the classic tyrant whose evil brought down the previous dynasty, and his demands. Simple. Daji must commit suicide. The empress and princes must be declared innocent. The evil ministers, execute them. Restore order.
Wow. And King Zhu's reaction. Predictable? Maybe, but still shocking. He rips the memorial, just tears it to pieces, and then just snaps. Orders his guards. Kill this old fool. Beat him to death with the golden gourds. Right there, outside the gate. It's just raw, uncontrolled power lashing out. But Shang Rong, even facing death, still defiant. He yells out, "Who dares touch me?" Zhang Rong, even facing death, still defiant. He yells out to the Wuzhou, "Who dares touch me?" He's asserting his legitimacy, his history.
Exactly. Those words are packed with meaning. Serving three kings gives him this immense moral weight. Authority Zhu should respect, and a Tia entrusted by the previous king, Bi, to guide Zhu. That puts him almost above ordinary politics. He's like a guardian of the dynasty's core values. He's basically saying, my right to speak comes from something older and more fundamental than you, king.
And then he turns right back to Zhou, calls him dim-witted monarch, straight up predicts the end. Someday you'll be killed, the kingdom will fall, and you'll shame all your ancestors. He lists the failures, the empress, the princes, the loyal officials, concluding, the way of the ruler. You've completely lost it.
And then his final act, it's visceral. He turns, runs, and smashes his head full force against one of the big stone pillars carved with dragons. The description is graphic. Brains splattered, clothes soaked in blood. This 75-year-old man, loyal to the end, Today, he fulfilled his duty. It's such a deliberate, shocking act of self-sacrifice, making a statement that simply cannot be ignored.
And Zoe's reaction, even to that, just cold, cruel, his final order.
You're a brave journeys there. Throw this old rascal's body outside the city walls. Don't even bury it.
It shows just how far gone he is. No respect. Not even for the dead. Not even for someone who served his family for generations. Trying to erase him entirely.
Utter depravity. But of course you can't erase an act like that. The poem in the text nails it. So here, his name, his fame will smell sweet for 10,000 years. His death is tragic, yes, but it's also heroic. It's a moral victory, in a way. And it signals, loud and clear, to everyone, mortals, immortals, whoever's watching, that the Shang's moral authority is bankrupt. Its end is coming, and maybe it should come.